Hey everybody and welcome. This is my fourth ever Daily Pages flip through. I'm Arya Kristen, feminist scrapbooker, and I am here to hang out with you today and talk all about this book that I created back in February of 2019. The last book that we talked about, I ended near the beginning, no, sorry, near the end of 2018. And I was still trying to figure out what this project was for me. When I created it back in 2018, I'm just going to flip through these while I give you a little intro. When I created this project back in 2018, one of the things that I needed was just a place to get stuff done really quick, a place to feel like I could be creative, not because I had to share it on social media, not because I needed to, create a magazine, pictures for a magazine article. Just creativity for the sake of being creative. Hey, Nicole, so glad you're here. So when I created this project back in 2018, one of the things that I was thinking was it was just going to be a summer project for me. I just needed it to get back into my creative flow. So after I made a couple of books in 2018, I put the project aside so that I could work on scrapbooking the rest of my year. I have a big December project that I do every year. So I did not create in this book again. I wasn't making any notebooks again until the middle of February 2019, which makes sense. I am one of those people that I do not love starting new things in January. I feel like I fail much more often than I succeed when I try to start a brand new thing in January. So waiting until February, when it starts to get a little bit lighter out, when you can see that spring exists, is a great time for me to play around and make some stuff. So this is my fourth ever Daily Pages book. I started this one on February 18th, 2019, and I'm going to go through each of these pages now. So I started this book, like I do a lot, with my currently list, where I talk about the 7 prompts. I do this every Monday now. I started out with this currently list back in 2012. I needed something to go into my Project Life scrapbook where I could get some journaling down the journaling itself would change week to week, but the prompts would stay the same so that I could see, very easily all the things that were changing on a week to week basis. So I've got that I'm watching Overwatch League, reading kids these days, listening to Chamber of Secrets, making changes around the house. I'm one of those people that constantly moves furniture around when it starts to get into spring. So this is a fun page. Just got my currently list and literally some like scrap garbage that I had on my desk. This is some foil that was alcohol inked and then embossed. A little scrap of, this is a Hambly screen print. It's one of my favorite Hambly screen prints. That is a company that no longer exists. And when they went out of business, I was very, very sad. So I have lots of little Hambly screen print scraps stashed all over the place. And I stuck one right here on this page and a little bit of glitter tape. It's a bunch of just random stuff that I have on my desk, making these pages super, super easy. We had our scrapbooking or I guess I called it Daily Pages X scrapbooking workshop on Saturday. And one of the things that I talked about was I started out with this project, and a lot of the times, as you can see, I'm literally just putting like extra little scraps that I have around my desk into this notebook. So I have a lot of really big full patterned page papers. So I can show you, this is the page that I made yesterday. It has a lot more going on. This is the page that I made today. A lot more going on. But now, when I do these pages, I spend probably about 25 or 30 minutes on my page each day. When I was still getting back into the swing of things, when I was learning how this project worked for me, I was spending, 5 minutes on a page, 10 minutes on a page, 2 minutes on a page. And so when you're getting into this hobby, when you are getting into any new hobby, set your goals like really low, like so low that you can trip over the bar that you're setting. And then as you build up the habit, as you build up the creative, flow, you can add more and more, and it makes it so much easier. If you guys have any questions at all while I'm flipping through this, whether it's about what I'm using, what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, please throw them in the chat. I would love to answer anything that you've got going on. So with this page, it's just simple patterned paper on the left and then a stamp about what TV that I'm watching lately. This was when Russian Doll came out on Netflix. It was just a great first season of a television show. Then we got, this was an extra book of me paper that I had laying around on my desk, and just a fun little tag that says, the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. So that is like super on the nose for daily pages, because one of the greatest things about daily pages is it is a safe space to make creative mistakes. It is a safe space to learn about your tools, to learn about your supplies, to figure out what you like, to figure out what you don't like, in a like safe environmental space that is not going to make you feel like you are wasting supplies. You're not sullying your beautiful scrapbooks that go on the shelves. This is a safe space for you to learn to be the type of creative that you want to be. So the greatest mistake that you can make in life is continually fearing you will make one. Get a journal where you allow yourself to make mistakes. It is a game changer in terms of leveling up your creativity. This says winter is coming. So this was when Game of Thrones was good. With a note about how I really need to rewatch, and then just some little snowflakes to indicate that winter is coming. Even though this is the end of February and winter was leaving. So next page, I've got an F. Scott Fitzgerald quote. I think this is an Allie Edwards journaling card. Allie Edwards makes really, really good journaling cards with quotes on them. Brandy Kincaid makes really good quotes with journaling cards with quotes on them. You can, print stuff out on Pinterest. You can collect them, beautiful quotes in any ways, in magazines and all sorts of stuff, and then stick them in your daily pages. This is a great place to collect those little things that like aren't going to get a home anywhere else, but you want to feature them a little bit. So this one says, we can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. And I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things that you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again. And that's from F. Scott Fitzgerald. Fun times. So lots of quotes, lots of patterned paper, just a little, like this was a little scrap of vellum that I had left around. And so I cut, you can see better if I put my little hand under it. I made a little V shape at the end so that it would be a little bit more elegant, stuck it on there, and it's just cute. And playing in here, learning where you like to put the shapes, learning where you like to put the patterns, learning what colors you like together, giving yourself a little notebook to explore and be creative, it will do wonders for your skills. So this is a Thursday 3 photo. I don't have any Thursday 3 journaling on here. I have this big, great selfie mirror in the front of my house. It's fantastic. So you'll see lots of different selfies with me in front of this mirror. Different patterned paper, a little sticker that says this is my story. Super fun and easy page. Same with this one. This is a tag that I got at IKEA. If you have never looked at the paper stuff at IKEA has some, like, they've got like a handful of things, but sometimes you get some incredibly cute stuff, like really, really great, useful stuff. They had for a while, I don't know if they still have it, but they had this big black washi tape. It was this one and a white one, and I cannot tell you how much I use this great washi tape from IKEA. So next time you're at IKEA, go and look. It's usually around where the frames are, where they have the little paper things, where they have the art, and they will have some little paper goods, and they're always really, really fun. So another super easy page, just some, that's another embellishment from Allie Edwards. That's a ripped piece of patterned paper scraps, a little stamp that I got that said Born to Create. One of the things that I love doing in this daily pages, and I don't know if I get a lot of this just yet, we'll get to it in another page soon, is I love playing with new supplies in here. When I get a new stamp set, the first thing I do is play with it in daily pages. It makes the stamp set so much less intimidating. So I've got one on the next page, or the page after that. But you can see here I've got another currently list. So right now I do my currently list every single Monday. It's a really easy way to get into the week. I am one of those people where if I fall off, the friction to get back in is harder than doing the entire thing by itself. So giving myself something to do on Monday that has much less friction makes it so much easier to get back into the swing of things. So I fill out one of these cards every Monday. You can go get one free at theawesomeladiesproject.com/currently. Free download on there with 2 different currently list cards that you can print out for yourself. And then there's a bunch of other currently stuff on there too that you'll learn about. I just paired it with a journaling card that I had. It's very simple, very easy. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them. I know I said that before, but I want to make sure that anything that you're seeing, anything that you're thinking about, and if you're watching the recording, same thing. Just like hit reply on the email. Come bother me in the chat. Come find me wherever it is that we chat and ask me what's up. This is another Thursday 3 where I'm not doing the journaling. I'm just putting my Thursday 3 photo in here. And I have a ton of Thursday 3 photos. This is a selfie challenge that I started back my last semester of college. So that was like, I don't know, 20 something, 12? That sounds right. Does it? I don't know. It's a while ago. It's definitely more than 12 or 13 years ago. It was my last semester on campus, and I realized that I didn't have enough photos in my scrapbooks I didn't have enough photos myself to scrapbook all the stories that I wanted to, so I needed to make an appointment with myself to get a photo. So I went around campus that last semester, and I took photos. And then I've been doing it ever since. And we have this really great mirror in the front of our house, and it's fabulous for my Thursday 3 selfies. So this was one of the stamp sets that I got that I just wanted to play around with, and it was a news stamp set from Allie Edwards, and I've got some more Allie Edwards stuff here. And just like stamping patterned backgrounds gives me the knowledge of like how far is a stamp from the other stamp, how much white space looks good, what colors look good. Is this a stamp like let's talk real quick. Like I have this VersaFine ink, which is my go-to ink. If you're going to get one ink pad ever, use this one. And for a while, this was literally the only ink I was using. Like I can flip through here. That's ink. I think the only ink that I used in this whole book is this VersaFine ink. It is sharp. It dries quickly. It's fantastic. On the other hand, if I were to pull out, a different ink, like one of these inks, we'll pull out this ink. This is an ink from Paper Person. Those don't actually exist anymore, but there's a bunch of dye inks like that. And this one over here, and let me actually show you real quick. I'll just grab a piece of scrap paper and show you the difference between these 2 stamp sets. So we're getting a mini lesson in the middle of our flip through. I need to find a stamp set real quick. All right, this is perfect. I've got this tiny little quote from Allie Edwards. So this VersaFine here is really, really great for details. So we're going to take that and we're going to smash it on there, and it looks really good. I would zoom in, but right now actually, you know what? I can zoom in real quick after I show you this one. So I'm going to clean this stamp real quick. Just a tiny little bit of water. And I've got my microfiber cloth. Just because I'm going to stick this black ink, I don't want to stick too much of the black ink onto the light blue ink pad. So with this blue ink pad, it is a lot juicier or wet, however you want to talk about that. And then I'm going to put this down, and it's going to be a lot more muddled. So I'm going to, let me bring this up to you guys so you can see, and then I will zoom in, or I will focus. Come on, focus. So you can see how this top one is much clearer than the bottom one, where it kind of just bleeds all together, especially in that top line. Yeah, there we go. So if you're going to get any ink, get the VersaFine Onyx Black. Now I need to press the button again so you can see. Focus. There we go. Get this Onyx Black. It's fantastic. It's easy. There's tons of great colors in this VersaFine now. They're called VersaFine Clairs. They're also amazing. So One of the things that I just love to do is make these stamped backgrounds when I get my stamps because it makes the stamp set so much less intimidating. Also, then I've got, fun, cute photos that I had, just a little tag that I had laying on my desk. Some of these things are a lot more, this took me a little bit more time than just gluing down a photo and gluing down a tag. But they're great pages. They're so easy. So this was the 1st of March. I decided we'll put a little March calendar on there. We'll put a patterned paper background on here. And I know this patterned paper, and we were talking about this one before, this patterned paper are from the same paper line. And it was just something that I had on my desk, which is one of the fun things to flip back through these books and realize what it is that I had on my desk at the time, what it is that I was intentionally creating, what it is that was new. Like, this is a new stamp set that I got, and I just wanted to test out the stamp set. And I just added some scraps on the other sides to make it look even. This was not about creating a pretty page. This was not about, making something that I could share on Instagram. This here was so that I could feel comfortable with all the tools and supplies that I had before actually doing this stuff on scrapbook pages that I cared about. Same thing with this. I've got some random doilies. These were just some stickers that I had left on my desk after playing with a new, I think this was an Allie Edwards kit. It's definitely an Allie Edwards kit. So I was playing with that. This patterned paper, again, this patterned paper is from the same line as this patterned paper and the other one. It's a basic gray. It's an old basic gray line. I think it's about gardening. I don't remember exactly what it's called. But I paired up with this, the Allie Edwards embellishments that I had left over on my desk. It's just a place to play around and enjoy yourself. And then you can see over here, I've got a currently list. I matched up this currently list over here with my green patterned paper over here. Same line. I added this, so I don't usually add, this is a little bit, let's see if I can show you. It's a little bulky. This is a felt heart with some stitching around the outside. And I don't usually put bulky things in these books. But I think this was probably one of the only bulky things that I've really put in the book. And that's okay. When we go through more of these books week to week, you will see that some of my books are way chunkier than some of the other ones. So this is a green currently list. Like I said, you can go get the stuff at theawesomeladiesproject.com/currently list. There's free stuff there. And then there's a bunch of downloads and printables and stamps and all sorts of fun stuff to build your currently list. So just a quick card, some washi tape at the bottom, just playing around with my supplies, figuring out what is it that I like? What is it that I want to play around with? What is it that I want to use? And you can see here, super simple. This was literally left over from a page that I was creating that day about snow for my book of me. I have these really pretty leaves that are winter leaves, and I literally paired it with a single sticker that was also from my December project that I was creating. So literally, sometimes daily pages is just helpful to clean up. I don't feel like putting that away. Great. Make it be the start of the next page. And same, I see myself doing that a lot in this one. I got a new cool tag stamp, so I wanted to play around with it, and I thought the best thing to pair with it would be this tag, which, again, I had on my desk because we saw the other one in here before. Where's that one? Where did I put that one? That one is here. This one was the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. And this one is even experts were beginners once. And allow yourself to be a beginner. It's one of the biggest things that I think is important when you are trying to level up your creativity is that you need to learn how to be a beginner. It is not easy. It is not comfortable. It feels really weird to be bad at things and to choose to actively do things that you're not great at yet. But that is how you get better at them. And it just is. So take little easy steps to be a beginner. Take little easy steps to make your way towards being an intermediate. Don't feel like you need to be amazing at everything from the get-go, because even experts were beginners once. So what do we got now on the next page? Next page, same thing. I'm playing with this same tag set. This is a different size tag than this one. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit smaller. I matted this one on some white cardstock with some blue cardstock in the background. This is another part of the stamp set. It's a little a ticket stamp. So just a little monochromatic ticket page so I can play around with my new stamp sets. I'm going to grab my water bottle. I had my water bottle and now I don't know where I put it. Oh, okay, that's fine. We're almost to the end of this. So over here, you can see I've got another patterned paper. I've got some solid colored washi, some more Allie Edwards stuff. And then this was a screenshot of an Amy Poehler quote that just says, "I just love bossy women. I could be around them all day. To me, bossy is not a pejorative term at all. It means somebody's passionate and engaged and ambitious and doesn't mind leading." It's a very Leslie Knope answer from Miss Amy Poehler. You can see here, this is just a bunch of garbage. I got a new stamp set, so I stamped all the headphones in the background. This is a like the tiniest little scrap of watercolor that I had left from a bigger project. And I put a little star on it, and it's just right here and added the date. And again, it's just super easy and more cleanup. This was more cleanup. For my December project, I printed out everything from the Spotify Wrapped for that year. And I really didn't care about this one. This one didn't matter. I didn't need to add. I needed to cut some of the things so that I could fit them all in my actual scrapbook that I was making. And this one here did not make the cut. This one is the oldest song that I listened to, which was Battle Hymn of the Republic, which is just very me. That's embarrassing. So I thought that this had to go in here with a really fun patterned paper over on the side and just a simple stamp that says playlist. So over here we've got, this is my art wall, my art board that I have over up on the right. This was so fun. This is when Amanda and I did our scrapbook supply madness. Instead of basketball, we did instead of March Madness, we did scrapbook supplies, and we had them face off against each other, and it was delightful. That was just fantastic. And this is some other stuff that I've just got on my bulletin board before I cleaned it off. It needs to get cleaned off again, so I should do another one of these pictures and pages soon. And you can see that I have that same stamp before with the half tags, the half stamps. Any questions? Anybody who came in later have anything that they want to talk about? This here is another Thursday 3 that I turned monochrome so that it would match with this patterned paper. In fact, I'm pretty sure I turned it monochrome because I was just playing around, and then I got it printed, and then I found a patterned paper that worked with it, which is just fun. If I were doing this today, and like I showed you guys earlier, I have much more complicated pages today. Like, these are the pages that I make, mostly because I'm spending a lot more time doing it. But if I were to add on to this page, I'd probably put some journaling or some words over here and turn this into a little bit more of a scrapbook page. But the point of daily pages is that this is also perfect just because you're playing. You're spending time. If this is all that I had time to do that day, then that's enough. There's no reason to go back and make every page as perfect as possible when you're just taking this notebook and using this notebook as a way to have a creative conversation with yourself. So I finished up this notebook on March 17th of 2019. And I'm going to flip through it real quick one more time. And if you have any questions about any of these pages or anything I did, please let me know. I would love to answer anything that you've got on your mind. So I started this book in the middle of February 2019. Started with a currently list and some random stuff on my desk. You'll see lots of these full page patterned papers with this paper line from Basic Gray that no longer exists. I have some tags in here and lots of just like desk cleanup. This was a patterned paper that I had on my desk for that year's Book of Me. This is just a ripped piece of patterned paper with some stamps. A little snowflake stamp giving myself a repeated pattern background over here, talking about doing a little Game of Thrones rewatch. Over here, I've got another sheet of patterned paper, some vellum that I cut and made cute, a little scrap of vellum I had on my desk with an Allie Edwards journaling card. Allie Edwards and Brandy Kincaid are my main sources for journaling cards right now. I love them both. Just some random garbage stuff on my desk. This tag is from IKEA, so go check out the IKEA section, the IKEA stationery section next time you are at your local IKEA. I've got a currently list and another journaling card. I love my currently lists. It's always such a great reminder of what I was actually doing. Whenever I put it together. A Thursday 3, my mirror selfie. No journaling. Practice with a new stamp set. Just a cuddling photo, a throwback photo. More patterned paper and a little calendar to say like, hey, look, it's March 1st. And I think I missed. No, I didn't. This was me trying out a new stamp set and just putting some scraps on my page. And I love using this notebook to just clean up scraps. I love using this notebook to say like, I don't want to go and organize that little tiny scrap anymore. So put it on a page and make it part of the artwork. So that's what I did over here. I have half a doily. I've got some random stickers that I had on my desk, and I matched it with a little heart that I had from the same collection from Allie Edwards. It says, deep breaths are like love notes to your body, which just matches up with that one that says deep breaths over there. One of my favorite tips and tricks is if you don't want to think about what goes with what, use a full collection. Let an artist decide. Let a designer decide. Let somebody else do some of that work. Offload that. Delegate. Same thing. Like if you don't know what to do on Mondays, go get that currently list and fill out your currently list. You will be really glad that you have these currently lists over the years, what you're watching and reading and listening to. Those are the things that you think that you're going to remember. You never remember. And so it's great to have that stuff down. Simple pages. Literally a sticker and a die cut. Could not be easier. Another tag, and then you can see I started playing around with this new stamp set that I got. So you'll see this stamp set on a couple of the next pages. You've got it here again. And it's just a fun and easy way to play around with new supplies and make them feel so much less intimidating. I've got some patterned paper here. I've got a fun quote that I printed out over here. Some more headphone background, very easy. This was garbage watercolor that I had, a tiny little scrap of watercolor that I had left over. And then we've got this one with the oldest song, Battle Hymn of the Republic. Fabulous. I love that for myself. Another full page pattern paper, very simple stamping. And same thing with this one, full page patterned paper, a little bit less than full page. A simple picture, same stamp set, and a little bit of notes about how this is before I cleaned off my little area over there, which I need to do again. So I will take another picture and we'll share that, and you can be like, oh, I saw that before. And you can also see it back here in this picture. So it's one of the other reasons why I love scrapbooks, is because you have, primary and secondary indicators of like what the story is. So like here it is, I'm directly taking the picture of this. I am showing you directly, this is the subject of the photo. It's front and center and you can see the whole thing and you can see, oh, Kristen specifically took a picture of her bulletin board. Whereas in this page, it is a secondary indicator of what's going on in my life. It's in the background. It's, I am the subject of this photo, but everything in the background tells more of the story. I can say like this printer is no longer there. This whole situation is no longer there. I don't have that light there. All those things are different. This is not where my desk is right now. And it's just really fun to look in the background of photos to get more context. So I love having these in daily pages. So I finished up this book at the middle of March 2019. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to go into the next book that we're going to go into next Tuesday is starts right after? No, actually it doesn't. So we have one in August. So we have an August book and then we have an October book and then I go into doing December again. And then once we get into 2020, once we hit the pandemic, then that's where I really started to do this every single day. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions, please come and ask me. If you're watching the recording and you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Drop them in the comments, come and find me, and I will see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me. I hope that you get some creative time of your own in today, and you are awesome and your story matters. Bye, friends.